Students, let us discuss some more points about coefficient of restitution where we have left yesterday. Let me just add this one pen. Okay, we are calculating coefficient of restitution. We are exploring different cases. So we are talking about head-on elastic collision. So we have discussed about two collisions yesterday, elastic collision and inelastic collision. We have also talked about coefficient of restitution. There was a formula for that, and the basic formula was E is equal to minus Vs by UA. Vs means velocity of separation, UA means relative velocity of approach. Here relative is very important. Okay, now when you talk about relative means two bodies moving in same direction, relative speed, you have to take the difference. That is the concept. If two bodies are going in opposite direction, relative speed means you have to add. So just remember that. So in the terms of a picture, you can understand like this. There is a body of mass m1 in the left and mass m2 in the right. u1 u2 are the initial speeds. This is before collision. Then they collide and v1 is going in this direction, v2 is going in this direction. See, both after collision may go in the same direction, or both may go towards left, or both may go opposite. Different cases may arise depending upon the masses, depending upon the speeds. Here in general terms we are writing. Here in general terms we are writing that u1 u2 is the initial speeds and v1 v2 is the final speeds. We are not talking about the directions. Okay, without sign is considered in the derivation. Okay, so the first point is whether it is elastic or inelastic. I told you that principle of linear momentum is conserved. Initial momentum is equal to final momentum. This we have discussed yesterday. If any doubt, you have to see the video again. Okay, so what is initial momentum of the system? There are two bodies. Momentum of the one, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is what it is. Okay, so here all m1 terms on the one side, all m2 terms on the other side. You got one equation. Okay, now here we are assuming that the collision is elastic. So in elastic collision, I told you the another point, that total kinetic energy also is conserved. That means let us say these two bodies has 100 joules. So after collision also 100 joules will be there. There will be no loss of energy. So kinetic energy you have studied in 9th and 10th class. What is kinetic energy of mass m with speed v half mv square. So for the first body it will be half m1 u1 square. Second body it will be half m2 u2 square. This is the initial. This is the final. So here also half will be cancelled both sides. So bring m1 terms this side, m2 terms that side. You got one equation this, you got another equation this. We want to eliminate m1 m1 and m2 m2. We want to get an equation for velocities. So divide. So this is a square minus b square formula, a minus b into a plus b. Okay, when you divide, you are going to get this equation. u1 plus v1 is equal to u2 plus v2. Okay, now this is an important point, just remember it. u1 is what? Initial speed of 1. v1 is final speed of 1. u2 is initial speed of 2 and v2 is final speed of 2. This you can remember as a result. Often it helps. Okay, now from this equation you can write u2 minus u1 is equal to v1 minus v2. Okay, see, if you remember what was the definition of E, it was v1 minus v2 by u2 minus u1, right? So here if you see, if I take this u2 minus u1 other side, it will be 1 equal to v1 minus v2 by u2 minus u1 you are getting. Okay, but what is this ratio? This ratio is coefficient of restitution. So when E is equal to 1, it is a perfectly elastic collision. This I have mentioned in my yesterday lecture. So theoretically also we have proved. Okay, theoretically also we have proved. So for an elastic collision, coefficient of restitution is 1. For a perfectly inelastic collision, E is equal to 0. That is by definition. Okay. So this E value will be varying between 1 to 0. This you have to understand. So at 1 it is perfectly elastic. At 0 it is perfectly inelastic. So between 1 to 0 it is partial. Okay. So these are the three diagrams we have seen yesterday also. This is before collision. U1, U2 are the initial speeds. M1, M2 are two different masses. They had a collision, and after collision, let us say this is going in this direction, this is going in another direction. If you try to understand conceptually, see these are the final speeds. Okay. So here both velocities are in opposite direction. So what will be the velocity of separation? You have to add. Just now I told you it will be v1 plus v2, and here at initial stage both are in the same direction. That means u1 minus u2 you have to take. See here what happens, this u1 mass is hitting this m1 mass is hitting m2 and it is getting bounced back. So can I say that u1 is greater than u2? This is the velocity of approach, u1 minus u2. Okay, what is happening basically, this mass is going in the same direction now, whereas this got reversed. Okay, so velocity of approach will be u1 minus u2 because they are in same directions, and velocity of separation, it will be addition because they are in opposite directions. Okay, so here an assumption has been made that u1 is greater than u2. u1 is greater than u2. Okay, when u1 u2 are two different velocities, then obviously one has to be greater, one has to be less. So here u1 is going back. Now you may be asking, when u1 speed is more, why it is going back? Maybe m2 is more, m1 is less. There is a possibility, right? m2 may be 10 kilos, m1 may be 5 kilos. So even though u1 is more, it is going back. Okay, so here based upon concept, what you got, E is equal to velocity of separation is v1 plus v2 divided by u1 minus u2. The denominator is the velocity of approach, but relative velocity of approach. Okay, same thing we will try to understand mathematically. So this was the original formula. If you see my previous lecture, the formula was E is equal to v1 minus v2 divided by u2 minus u1. This is what I have given you yesterday. Here I told you have to follow the sign convention. So for following the sign convention, u1 u2 both are in positive x direction, so both will be positive. u1 u2 both are positive. You see here u1 u2 are in the positive x direction, v1 is in the minus x direction, so we have put minus, and v2 is in the positive x direction, so we have put plus. Just substitute in this equation. In the place of v1 you have to write minus v1, in the place of v2 you have to write plus v2, in the place of u2 you have to write plus u2, in the place of u1 you have to write plus u1. If you do all this mathematics, you finally get v1 plus v2 divided by, there is a minus outside, if you take minus inside, this becomes u1 minus u2. It is same as this equation. It is, you're getting the same equation. Okay. So we need to just check the maths part. So whether you go by mathematically or whether you go by based upon the concept, you basically always get the same answers. So finally, what are we trying to do? See, this was the equation we have got. See here, this was the equation we have derived, right? This equation has come from this equation. You take u1 other side and v2 this side. You get u2 plus v2 is equal to v1 plus v2. It is there above also. Okay. So this is the equation you got. Okay. Now we are trying to find out the value of coefficient of restitution. So we have to find out in the numerator v1 minus v2. Here it is v1 plus v2. Just now, for this particular case, we have seen that for this case we are getting v1 plus v2 in the numerator. Okay. So just find out the value of v1 plus v2. What is the value? It is u2 minus u1. How? You take v1 this side, it becomes v1 plus v2 on the RHS, and u2 to the left hand side, it becomes u1 minus u2. Okay. If you take u2 to the left hand side, it becomes u1 minus u2. Now just put it in this equation. You will see that numerator and denominator both are same terms, and you are finally getting the value of E as 1. You are finally getting the value of E as 1. Now what is the value of what is the meaning of E value being 1? It is perfectly elastic collision. It is perfectly elastic collision. Okay. This is what we have started the derivation also, elastic collision. So this we have proved mathematically now. Okay, this we have proved mathematically, taking two conditions. Which conditions? Condition 1 was total initial momentum is equal to total final momentum, and condition 2 was total kinetic energy is constant before and after. All right. So expressions for final velocities after a head-on elastic collision. See, it is like this. See, two objects are colliding with each other. What do you want to find out? You want to find out the final velocities of each bodies. Okay, this is what we want to find out. So here, this equation we have derived now. v2 is equal to u1 plus v1 minus u2. It has come from this equation. If you arrange this, u2 is equal to u1 minus v1. You take v2 on the other side, left hand side, you get this expression. Okay. So we want to find out v2, final velocity of 2. You just go to this equation. You want to find out the final velocity v2. So you have to take u2 on the left hand side. Okay. If you take u2 on the left hand side, you are getting u1 minus u2 plus v1. Is it the same equation here? Yeah, u1 minus u2 plus v1. Because we want to find out the final expression for v2. Okay. Now this was the original equation. m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1. Here v2 term was there. In the place of v2 you write this. Okay. In the place of v2 you have to write this. So if you derive, same thing you have to do in this equation also. See, kinetic energy is there. Here also, in the place of v2 you have to write this value. You have to write this value. So once you solve this, you finally get the value of velocity of 1, the final velocity value, as this formula. Okay. It can be proved. I have not included the proof part here. If anyone interested, you can message me. I will do the whole proof and send it to you. But here the most important part is this expression we have to remember. Okay, so V1 is equal to difference of masses. See, in the denominator, addition of masses will always be there. So this is velocity of 1. It is the final velocity, first body. It is this equation. U1 is the initial speed of the first body. U2 is the initial speed of the second body. For the second term, you have to write 2m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So in this equation, subscript 1 and 2 can be arbitrarily chosen. Okay, sometimes you can call 2 as 1 and 1 as 2, but the formula remains in the same fashion. So suppose you want to find V2. See, when you wanted to find V1, what do? You took difference of masses. So when you want to find V2, you have to take difference of masses divided by m1 plus m2. Okay, and which one you have to write? U2 you have to write. Okay, and what is the leftover? U1 is the leftover. So 2m1 by, the second term will be in this format, 2m by m1 plus m2, like that it will be. So if you want to find for 1, here 2 will come. If you want to find for 2, here 1 will come. This is what you have to remember. This is the easy way to remember the formula. Okay, this formula you should remember. If you want to do numericals, this formula you should remember. How this formula has come? This formula has come using that principle of conservation of momentum and kinetic energy. Both when used together, you are finally getting this expression. Derivation total derivation I have not put over here. Anyone really seriously interested can WhatsApp me. When I am free, I will solve it and then send it to you. At least one I will prove. The second automatically comes. It is very easy derivation. Because when I will be doing some numerical, you will understand even more better. Right now, you just remember the formula. It is very useful while solving numericals. Okay. Now we will see some particular cases. See, in this whole assumption, we are saying that m1 is not equal to m2. Okay, we can take some particular cases. What if m1 and m2 are both equal? This kind of situation. Okay, let us say both masses are 2 kg. The first mass is left hand side, I am calling it as first mass. Right hand side, I am calling it as second mass. First mass is, let us say, going with 2 meter per second, and second mass is going with 1 meter per second. So after collision, what happens means the first mass goes with 1 meter per second, the second mass starts going with 2 meter per second, both in the same direction. This is a special case. You have to remember that. So why it happens like that? If m1 is equal to m2, you come to this equation, what happens? This term becomes 0. This term becomes 0. What are you left with? Only this term. If m1 is equal to m2, let us say m1 is equal to m, and both are m. So this becomes 2m by 2m. So 2m by 2m becomes 1. So v2 becomes equal to u1. v2 becomes equal to u1. So this is v2. It becomes equal to u1. Okay. So this is the with the help of a picture I am telling you. It is very easy to remember the picture. So it's a very important point from JEE point of view. You should remember this result, that two bodies are there, both are equal masses, like this. So the speeds will be interchanged. They will exchange their velocities. Now the second case, if colliding body, the body which is colliding is much heavier than the struck body and it is initially at rest, what happens? Let us say left hand side, one big mass is coming, one truck is coming and hitting a cycle. Let us say truck mass is very high, the big mass is going with 2 meter per second and the small body is at rest. What happens means there is no effect on this big body, but the small body will go with double the speed of the truck. This is also a very useful result. and both will travel in the same direction, in this direction. No need to tell that, it is common sense. Okay, mathematically also you will get the same thing if you put the equations. Okay, so this result you should remember, that when a big body is traveling and hitting a small body which is at rest, the small body will acquire double the speed of the first body, but there is no effect on the first body. First body will go at 2 meters per second only. Okay, now let us move to the next one. The third case, the body which is struck is much heavier than the colliding body. Now here what is happening, you see, now the small body is in the left and it is hitting a big body. Big body means truck. The cycle is going and colliding with the truck. What happens? See, whenever a small body hits a big body, there is practically no effect on the big body. Big body remains, it goes as it is. It goes in the same fashion. Let us say the big body is coming like this. Since you are talking about head-on collision, and small body is going like this, head-on collision will occur only when they are traveling in opposite directions. So here what happens, after collision, this body will go will change the direction. It will go in the minus x direction. Earlier it was coming in plus x direction, now it will go in the minus x direction with the same speed. But this body, the right hand side body, the bigger body, it will continue to go in the same direction with the same speed. Big body will have no effect, but the small body will have effect. This also can be proved with that equation. See, here what happens, if you go to this equation, yeah, you see the, see, one mass is small, another mass is very big. What happens? Denominator becomes very big, numerator becomes very small. So the second term can be ignored. Let us say the first mass is small body. What will happen? This second term becomes very small. I am saying that m1 is very small compared with m2. What will happen to m1 divided by m1 plus m2? It is like 0.2 divided by 0.2 plus 25. What will happen? It's a very small value. So second value can be ignored. Now come to the first one. m1 is very small, m2 is very big. So m2 minus m1 almost m2 only, and m1 plus m2 is almost m2 only. So m2 by m2, it will cancel. You are left with u2. So that means what is happening here? v2 is becoming u2. We are assuming that the first body is the small body, second body is the big body. So we are getting v2 is equal to u2. So in this diagram, the v2, this is the v2, this is the u2. They will remain same with the same direction. Okay. One example I took to explain to you. You can put it in the equation and check yourself. Okay. Only when you are talking with huge masses, you have to ignore some terms mathematically. Okay. If first body was the big mass, there also the same equation you can use. First body let us say first body is very big mass, then you cannot ignore. In this case what will happen? m1 will remain m1 only, and m1 plus m2 also will remain m1 only. In that situation what happens? v2 becomes u1. The speeds are interchanged, I told you. Okay, v2, the final speed of second body, will be the initial speed of the first body. This case I discussed in the first case. Here you see, small body, see, there was a case, this case, big body coming hitting in the small body. Okay, m1 is the big body. What happened? m1 is going in the same direction, but m2 double the speed. That can be explained using this expression. Let us say m1 is the big body. Okay, so this will become 2m1 by m1. So 2m1 by m1 means, because m2 is very small, so what will happen? 2m1 by m1 it will become 2. This will become what? m1 is big, so this will become in the numerator minus m1 will be remaining, in the denominator plus m1 will be remaining. So you are getting v2 is equal to minus u2 plus 2u1. Not like that. This we have to study. Let us say m1 is a big mass. Then what will happen? This will become 2u1. Now m1 is a very big mass. m2 minus m1 will become almost like minus m1, and this will become plus m1. So this is becoming minus u2, right? Achha. The second case, if you want to talk, if colliding body is much heavier and struck body is at rest. So the condition given is the second body is at rest. So I forgot that condition. So when you substitute in this equation, this u2 is anyway 0 because the second body is at rest. And what happens to this body? This becomes 2m1 by m1 because m2 is very, very small. Look at this figure. m2 is very small, m1 is big. So here what happens? It becomes 2u1. So v2, the final velocity of 2 becomes 2u1. That is what I have proved here. I have written here. So if the big body is coming with 2 meters per second, after collision, this small body will go towards left, that is in the positive x direction, with double the speed. Okay. So let us see a small numerical example. One marble collides head-on with another identical marble at rest. Note down these words very carefully. Another identical marble at rest. That means u2 is equal to 0. If the collision is partially inelastic, that means E value is between 0 to 1. Determine the ratio of final velocities in terms of coefficient of restitution. Determine the ratio of the final velocities. That means you have to find v1, v2, and that you have to express in terms of coefficient of restitution. So the first condition is conservation of momentum. So you can very well write this equation. And identical marbles. Identical marble means this condition. m1 is equal to m2. Okay. And u2 is equal to 0. Why? At rest. So u2 is equal to 0. So if you put m1 is equal to m2, this all m1 m2 will be cancelled. You will be left with u1 plus u2 is equal to v1 plus v2. Okay. Now u2 is equal to 0. You got u1 is equal to v1 plus v2. What is coefficient of restitution? This is the original formula. See, if you in the top you write v2 minus v1, in the bottom you have to write u1 minus u2. You have to just swap it. In the top if you write v1 minus v2, in the bottom you should write u2 minus u1. That is the trick. Okay. So v2 minus v1 will be equal to EU1. Okay. So this is our equation 2 and this is our equation 1. Divide. When you divide, only E is left. So if you do 1 divided by 2, this becomes 1 by E RHS. You are getting v1 plus v2 by v2 minus v1. Okay. Applying componendo dividendo interactions, mathematics. What is componendo dividendo? You can add numerator and same thing you can subtract from the denominator. Okay. So here what you can add? You can add v1. Okay. So see, 1 plus e by 1 minus e. Componendo dividendo, it's a ratio and proportions. One trick is there. So whenever equation is in this format, add, you can write RHS as 1 plus e by 1 minus e. Okay. So you do the same thing in the left hand side. So you add v2 minus v1 to the top. So both v1 will be cancelled and it will become 2v2. See, in the RHS what he did, he took the denominator and added to the top, and then he wrote 1 minus e. So this will become V1 plus V2 plus V2 minus V1. So V1 cancel, only V2 left. Similarly, if you do 1 minus E, so you have to do V1 minus V2 minus V2 minus V1. You will be left with only V1. So V2 by V1 is equal to 1 plus E by 1 minus E. This is what is the question. Determine the ratio of their final velocities. What is the final velocity? Of the second body it is V2, of the first body it is V1. So V2 by V1 is equal to this. This is the answer. Okay, just make a note of all these points. In the next lecture we will see some more points. So do the derivation at home, and any doubts come back to me.